Welcome to the Wander Creative Podcast, your guide to digital marketing.
We'll be talking about everything from organic social media to paid advertising, as well as many other topics.
So join us as we journey through the ever-changing world of digital marketing.
Hello, happy holidays. Welcome to the Wander Creative Podcast. You are joining us. It is December 2021. And I am Matt Hadley from the Wander Creative team, also joined by Monica and Dan.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Oh, wait, we're actually recording this pre-Thanksgiving, so we don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely October.
I was like, why are you setting us up for this?
Yeah, well, now that everybody knows the illusion is broken, we record these a few weeks in advance. So this is, you're hearing this in December 2021. We are recording this in October, so we're a few weeks delayed, but
Gives us a fun excuse to celebrate Christmas.
exactly.
That's
We have a
true.
Christmas tree set up in
true.
the studio. All of our Christmas stuff is in the attic, and so I went to Michael's this morning to go get that Christmas tree, and they literally had this tiny 4-foot Christmas tree that we set up in the studio here, and the only other option was a giant 7.5-foot Christmas tree, 8-foot Christmas tree, and it was hilarious because it was in the middle of Halloween decorations, and the tiny one was on sale for $29.99, and the giant one was on sale for like $600. There was no in between, nothing else.
We were saying go for the $600 one.
No, like we're
8
going,
foot
we're
or
going big or
bust.
going home
Yeah.
here for this
Well,
podcast.
so, I mean, here's a kind of question for you guys. We're forced against our will to get into Christmas season before Halloween even hits. Are you guys a Christmas decoration comes out before Thanksgiving type of people, or you guys are like, no, each holiday has to have their time?
This might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't really care about Thanksgiving. And so
Oh, that's my
Wow.
favorite holiday of the year, not gonna lie.
That's why I work out.
here's the thing. Thanksgiving food is not that good to me. Like,
Whoa.
wow, just
Wait,
pushing the dagger.
What do you? Yeah. What
like,
do you
and
wish?
furthermore,
Were you like?
just blow out
Yeah.
the speakers. No, I don't know. So I'm all for decorating before Thanksgiving because I'm like,
Wow.
it's not enough time to only have a month of Christmas
Yeah.
decorations. Like, that's kind of sad. But
It's like
growing
yeah.
up, like, in my family, my parents wouldn't let us put up the Christmas decorations until the day after Thanksgiving.
Same.
So I've never really, I mean, I live alone now, but I don't really feel like buying a whole Christmas tree for just myself in an apartment right now. But
Yeah. What do you think?
We are, we have a tradition right after Thanksgiving. It's usually usually not Black Friday. We do usually just take that day and chill. But the weekend after Thanksgiving, we usually decorate.
Yeah, that's how we always were too. It's kind of like, I mean,
then you have
it's
even less
unpopular.
than a month?
I know, but it's like Thanksgiving. I
You
think does
guys.
deserve its own time. It's like otherwise Christmas is
the Christmas
encroaching
tree
everything.
can be up and you can eat.
At that
your
point,
thing.
it's a Christmas dinner.
My in-laws do have the Christmas tree up at Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But I agree with Dan. It's
Yeah.
always kind of weird. I'm like, wait, we're literally going to have the exact same menu, the exact same people. Everything's the exact same at Christmas.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm saying,
So
why are
why-
we all,
Dude,
why don't we just get excited for
Thanksgiving?
Christmas? It's all going to happen again.
If the Christmas tree is up during Thanksgiving meal, you're cutting the roast beast. I mean, it is full on Dr. Seuss Christmas time.
All right. Well, this is a Wander
right.
Creative hot take here.
Yep, hot
Yeah.
take.
So to actually get into the meat of what we're going to discuss today, we're going to do things a little bit different. We are going to still obviously give you some insights and thoughts into the digital marketing world and social media world. We're not just going to talk about our hot takes on Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that. However, we are going to have a lot of kind of holiday themed things sprinkled throughout. So later we even have a Christmas trivia game I'm so excited about.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited too.
It's gonna be good.
I've been hyping it up all day.
It has,
Both
so-
Dan and Monica are like, are we hearing about this again? Like, it really isn't that exciting. I have 5 questions that we're going to see if Dan and Monica know the answers to. And whoever wins, it's for pride, not prize. So, yeah.
Cool.
Out in the
I'm out. I'm out. See ya.
We're also going to talk a little bit about idea for a holiday campaign. So if you are an artist or an entrepreneur, something you might be able to run on your socials or within your e-commerce store to be able to take advantage of this holiday season. And then we're also going to start with talking and taking a look back down memory lane of top trends from 2021 in both social and digital, and how those impacted the way that we do things, and how you might be able to, if you missed it, we will hopefully give you a little bit of news. And if you are dealing with it, hopefully you will get a little bit of insight into how to leverage these trends for 2022 and beyond. So let's start. Monica, let's start with you.
Oh.
Do we like popcorn, or are we doing
I
all
think
three?
Popcorn
No,
is
I
kinda
think
fun.
that's popcorn. So,
Okay.
so
Spice
for
it
new
up.
listeners or those that don't know, Monica is our social media manager here at Wander Creative. Dan is our director of digital advertising. So Dan has been tasked with 3 trends for the digital world, digital advertising and digital marketing world. And Monica has been tasked to collect 3 trends from 2021 in social media. So number 3, because it's like a
Number 3?
countdown,
Oh.
like 3, 2, 1. I don't know.
I don't have the most
felt
important
good.
ones. I just have 3. But you know, we
Confusion
can,
in both of
I
ours.
was like, should I have
I was
numbered
like, wait,
these?
do I need to rank these? Like,
All right. First social media trend from
Great.
2021. Monica, take it away.
okay, I think a huge thing that was very prevalent on social media this year started more in 2020, obviously, with like quarantine and everything like that. But like social commerce, like being able to shop in like every single app, like you can literally buy something on Instagram from Instagram now without ever leaving the app. Like it's just wild, and that's something that I've seen so many brands taking advantage of this year. I mean, I follow a lot of like clothing and beauty and lifestyle brands, so I've seen a ton of that just in my personal feed and everything. But I think it's crazy how much like social media has evolved to be able to encapsulate such a big part of our lives, like shopping, like so that you can do it without even having to leave social media.
That's good.
Just thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and to
Wow.
piggyback off of that too, I know we have a lot of artists and musicians listening. I actually just got an email that Shopify, which is a very prominent e-commerce point of sale, I guess, is a web commerce site. Basically, I got an email from them that they have partnered with Shopify to where for a long time you could actually have merch items listed on on Spotify. But now Spotify and Shopify have partnered to where it's similar to Instagram or Facebook, where you can actually purchase right within Spotify through
So
your
bizarre.
Shopify account.
So
Like-
weird.
It's just crazy to me that social media got here.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna
how
call
it-
that. I'm gonna call that partnership Spotify
Spotify, yeah,
for
Shopify.
Shopify and Spotify.
I like it. Dan, what about you? Do you got a trend?
Well, to Monica's point, you know, I think it's important to note that like very few trends are like 2021 hits and then something out of the blue spikes up. Like a lot of the time, we see things kind of ramp up from the year before, like you said, and like in 2022, maybe they might kind of start ramping off. But something, you know, we saw in the digital marketing world was conversational marketing. And we did see that also starting to get big in 2019, 2020. It got even bigger to where we see brands, and you've seen this on the social side too, easing away, but especially in advertising, easing away from the kind of professional lingo and like, oh, this is an advertisement, you know, like 1950s, like, okay, I'm going to advertise to you. And, you know, even from the creative side of conversational marketing to the copy, we've seen, you know, talk to people like they're your friend, you know, like really kind of get in and make them feel like, oh, this is just another friend I'm scrolling through on Instagram and see, you know. That's why so many, like, even TikTok sponsorships, you know, you'll see it absolutely just try to blend in with TikTok trends, a user that they paid, and you'll see the sponsored in the bottom, but it's like, oh, this was not an ad. This is very conversational, very, like, sneaky. And so that was a trend that I saw.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, with that, like, influencer marketing and stuff, obviously that's, like, been a thing, but, like, it feels like that's kind of becoming, like, a main form of advertising on social media, which I think is cool. Like, in my personal, like, day-to-day, I am so influenced by influencers. Like, if I see, like, an influencer that I like talking about something, like, I'm more likely to go buy it because of that than if I were to just see, like, a generic ad about it. So
Yeah, we should just have shirts that say influenced, not influencer.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and I will say this is, kind of going off on a rabbit trail, but the funny thing is I am kind of the opposite, even though like I appreciate hyper-specific ads to me. Because I'm in advertising, I'm actually super skeptical of all advertisers and all ads because I'm like, well, yeah, they want me to buy their product. So like anytime I see sponsored or ad, I kind of go the skeptical way, which is really helpful for me to, as an advertiser, say, how do I get to the people like me?
Right.
The people who are skeptic.
That's a good point too,
Yeah.
because when it comes to like influencer marketing, we're so like on a rabbit trail
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
But like it like trust goes into it so much because
Yeah.
I wouldn't just listen to any influencer. I'd be like, I don't know if they're just getting paid a lot of money or whatever,
Right.
but
Well, yeah, and it's like if you've seen like The Bachelor or something, and they're like,
Right.
my favorite toothpick to use is this,
Yeah,
or
exactly. And it's
like
like,
water pick or whatever they're called. Like
Yeah.
this is my go-to flossing tool, and I'm like, okay, this is clearly.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust this person, but yeah, if it's someone very conversationally, just being like, also guys, I actually really appreciate.
yeah, that show you how they
this
actually implement it.
Yeah,
into their everyday
exactly,
life
and like
use
this
it
is
like
how
a
it
real
worked for
person.
me.
Right.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Let's do snake round. So let's actually do for the second trend. Let's start with Dan and go to Monica.
Oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
So something that we, again, saw ramping up was personalization in digital marketing. And by that, it's actually kind of a good segue from what we were talking about. So going even more hyper-targeted into your interest-based targeting. For those of you who might be tuning in for whatever reason for the first time to this episode, feel free to go back to previous episodes. We talk a little bit about the things we're talking about right now. But hyper-targeting people either based on interest, based on pixel data, based on retargeting. But essentially what it boils down to is more and more so, we are truly wanting to receive ad content that apply to us. I don't want to get, and we talked about this on the advertising episode. I think it was episode 5 with Kira. Some people view it as creepy that, a lot of data is being collected online. I am someone who would almost prefer that I'm not getting advertisements for sundresses on Amazon, but like, it's like they know what I'm interested in and they know what I might want. Part of me hates that because it's expensive for me to like the things I see. But it's also good because it's less of a waste of my time on social media where I might be scrolling and say, this is really cool product, or, oh, wow, they know I'm into, cameras. So I get Sony camera ads all the time, and I think it's great. So that's a big element of digital marketing in 2021 that we saw ramping up, and I don't see that slowing down. I think that's going to continue on.
Yeah. Another thing that I've seen, which I feel like all of these in a way tie into each other, but another trend that's been big in 2021 is like inclusivity among brands.
Sure.
So like with certain ad campaigns, like you see a lot more diversity in like the models that they use now, and like the different campaigns that they run are just a little bit more, I don't want to say taboo, but it's just like things that we didn't really prioritize before. Brands are making sure to prioritize now and really highlight so that people can kind of know where they stand. And I think that adds a very personal element that builds trust among their audiences. And I feel like that kind of like all of these things that we talked about, like being more conversational and like more hyper targeting, just like all of these things, I think we're just getting more and more like specific and like trying to really like connect more than we ever have. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I think that's true. We see a lot of like body positivity ads with Dove. We see a lot of that kind of stuff going on as well, like inclusivity, diversity, all that stuff with Target. And I think I kind of fall in the middle of like that interesting conversation of like, do I care what Cheez-Its is standing behind? You know, but then it's also like...
But then like a lot of people do.
Yeah, a lot of people do, and and there's a reason they do it. And so that's an interesting conversation for sure. And at the beginning I kind of laughed of like, Cheez-Its, okay. Cheese squares. Like, all right, but they're standing for something that's good, and
I think it's more just a thing of like brands are letting people know that they're people behind the brands, and I feel like that's just been a really cool way to connect better with their target audiences.
Love it.
Yeah, that's great.
Then are we going back to you
All
then
right.
to me, or?
Yeah. Monica, finish out with the third trend that you've noticed for 2021 in social.
This one's obvious, but video. That's been,
Yeah.
I mean, literally Instagram made its shift over to focusing more on video this year, which I guess we all have our opinions on it.
R.I.P. to all photographers in the world.
R.I.P. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's great.
it's been huge, and I'm interested to see how that will continue to progress in
Yeah.
2022. Like how that'll kind of develop and evolve.
What's beyond video? We don't know.
Time
Virtual
travel?
reality, maybe?
Virtual reality, yeah.
I don't
very,
know.
very
VR,
likely.
VR probably is the
I mean, we
next,
see a lot of things going into
That's
that.
another thing, like, I was reading up on trends and stuff, and another thing was, like, VR and, like, AR, like, augmented reality, and it was talking about, like, all the different, like, Instagram story filters and stuff that, like, you
Yeah.
blink and it does whatever.
Yeah.
So just, like, little things like that.
Or like you flip your camera and you see like a 3D version of the
Right.
person in the room
Yeah,
or whatever, and
so-
you're like...
Who knows?
I think my last one is in digital marketing, and I mean we've seen this on socials too, but like a growing presence of advertisements on stories in that formatting. So we see a lot more push on that, a lot more sponsored. You know, I think once the world started to wake up to the fact that stories is acting as though it's its own social media platform. I mean, Instagram stories are its own thing, and there's a lot of research that goes into and has gone into the fact that some people get on to look at stories and then get off. And like so it's kind of acting as its own entity. And so advertisers realized that, they got on board and said it's really important. So for those listening, to have an advertising campaign specialized and optimized for stories is wildly important. We need creative that is the correct size. No more of that kind of, like using the
Like
same
a horizontal video.
horizontal video for it. Yeah, we need story-specific graphics and call to action. I mean, there's so much that can be targeted specifically. And then even with that, I would kind of loop into the story realm TikTok advertisements. Those are ramping up, and to me, it's the same thing because it's kind of vertical video. That's,
Right.
it's kind of the same universe. Comment below if you're watching this and you disagree, but you can disagree.
where'd
It's
you go
fine.
with
We're
this?
the professionals, but it's
But you're
you can
wrong,
disagree
so.
with us. But yeah,
Just kidding.
But learn. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I would say
Wow.
Dan
Dan coming in with another hot take here.
I'm gonna debate cutting that from the overall episode, but yeah, so
Please
that's
keep all of that in.
I will. So stories is what I would say, story advertisements, and the importance of optimizing for them. And I think that will continue to get
Yeah.
more and more in 2022.
I love that. Well, as you guys enter into the holiday season or in the midst of the holiday season, I'm sure a lot of people are curious, how can I take advantage of this season? And one of the ways that we really love to do it is I'm a big fan of what is called gated content and data acquisition, which basically is a fancy way of saying, in exchange for an email address or a phone number, I'm going to get something, a free PDF or a free exclusive listen to a song or a free version of a music video that nobody else is getting. Something like that, just something that is gated, that is exclusive to the people who are giving you that data. And I think that the Christmas season is the perfect time to do that. So anyone who's not running a holiday campaign, or you're trying to think through what a good holiday campaign would be, maybe think through something like that. Maybe it's a 10-day giveaway that is enter into basically build out just a quick little landing page. If you have a MailChimp, or if you have MyEmma or some type of email service provider that you are sending out regular e-blasts, most of those have a little option on there to build out a landing page. That it can be so simple as just a title of whatever the campaign you want, say what you're giving away, and then have a form that has input for somebody to put their name, their email address, and zip code. Simple as that. And just promote it online, promote it on your socials. Say, hey, celebrating Christmas with 10 days of giveaways. This is my 10-day of giveaway campaign. All you have to do to be entered for a chance to win a giveaway is visit this landing page, fill out your information, and we will get you that campaign or that giveaway. Obviously, that can look a lot of different ways. If you don't want to do giveaways, maybe you have a lot of merch that you're trying to move. You can also do a different type of either discount or promo code. Maybe it's like a buy one, get one half off, or a 20% off sale for Christmas. The ideas are limitless, and so just hopefully that gives you a couple of ideas to be able to get a campaign going for the Christmas season. All right, now for the thing I've probably been looking forward to most today. Let's get Christmas trivia going.
We have a buzzer and everything.
Let me move my coffee.
I know, I'm scared this is going to get like competitive.
Here we go. It is competitive.
So I have 5 questions that I can see the answers to. Monica and Dan cannot. I'm going to ask the question. There is a buzzer in front of Monica and Dan in between the two of them. And if they know the answer, they're going to buzz. So, question number 1. And reminder.
Her hands are closer to the button.
No, they're not. You have easier access to the button.
Okay. All right. I see you.
Reminder that this is for pride, not prize. So, there's a lot riding on the table here.
All right. We got it. And if you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, I'm so sorry. You can't see what's going on, but you'll hear the button. You'll hear the button.
You can hear.
Okay.
All right. Question number 1. In a 1930s ad, what popular brand first illustrated Santa Claus in his now famous red suit?
It was me.
No, it was not.
I was still asking the question, so I couldn't see.
It made a noise when I hit it.
I know, but I hit it first.
Was it Coca-Cola?
It was Coca-Cola.
It was Coca-Cola. I'm going to actually call that one a tie.
Can
we call that one a tie?
Can we also get a better button up in here?
It was not going through.
Let's just slap it.
I told you should. This is a free app. I told you should go for the 99-cent version.
Yeah, it would have been more sensitive. Okay.
All right. So we are tied at 1 apiece.
Okay.
If you were to take out a billboard in Times Square on New Year's Eve, how many impressions is it estimated to get?
That's a Dan question.
Dan?
400 million.
No.
That seems like a lot. Is that too high?
It is too high. Do you want to give it a guess?
100 million?
Close. Are we playing by Price is Right's rules? Because it was 150 million.
Oh,
so Monica would get it by Price is Right
because
rules
I went over.
She was closest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, she was closest, and also she was closest without going.
Hey guys, this is not good. The advertiser's losing this game. All right.
All right. So it is. Monica's up 2-1. All right. Question number 3. How much do Americans spend on holiday shopping?
$2,000.
It's more than that. Sorry.
She's like, I spend more than $2,000.
Come on.
All right. Well, Dan is wrong. So Monica, if you want to take a guess.
I would guess.
Spend more than $2,000?
I would guess the average. Think of all
that's fair.
Think
that's
of
very
all.
fair.
The
The
average
wealthy,
American.
I didn't hear the average.
That
makes sense though.
I would guess closer to 10,000, but
You didn't buzz.
10,000.
7,500.
Man,
No,
you have
she
some
said
rich
10,000.
friends.
She
I
said
don't,
10,000.
but I'm thinking of all the rich people.
She said 10,000.
Well, first off, both of you are wrong.
Was 7,500 way off?
Yes, it was.
Really?
On average,
5,000.
the average American spends $942 on holiday gifts.
Wait, I was way
You
over?
said he was. I thought you said he was.
No, I just said he was off. I didn't say if he was over or under.
Wow, and
So
you
you
just
just
said
let me say that's not high enough.
Okay, that's amazing. I was like, wow,
Me
they
over
spent
here
more than
acting like
$2,000.
$7,500 is normal.
Yeah.
I've never spent that much on anything in my life,
don't-
just
yeah.
for the record.
I've never seen that much.
I
in
don't
my
think
life,
I have
so.
either. I just assumed other people had.
All right.
I don't
So
think that much money exists in one place. I don't.
So we are still at the same score. Monica has
Okay.
2 points. Dan has 1. Fourth of the 5 questions.
All right.
In what year was the iconic "They Do Exist" M&M's commercial released that features red and yellow M&M's happening upon Santa Claus coming down the chimney?
1999.
Close, but not quite. Monica, do you have a...
I mean, I'll guess, but I have literally no idea, so I'm going to say 1997.
Oh, Monica's closer. It was 1996.
Wow.
All right, guys. All right. This is a great podcast, but I quit right after.
Oh,
All
my
right.
letter of resignation.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, she didn't get it
Because I was over.
because you were
Oh,
over.
that's true.
So we're
But she was
still
closer.
at 2-1.
Okay. Oh,
So
okay.
Dan, if
All
you
right.
get this
All right.
next question,
We tie.
Y'all tie because
Okay.
I don't have a sixth question.
All right.
So
That's very cool.
Okay.
all right, fifth and final question. This is for all the marbles. Coca-Cola's first polar bear print advertisement appeared in what country and
I studied
in
this.
what year?
I studied this.
it?
Yeah, in my advertising class.
Oh, that's
But I
unfair
forgot
advantage.
it. I forgot it though.
Throw out a guess.
So I remember that it was in an
Hit the buzzer.
effort. Okay. Well, let me think about this first. Okay, so can you repeat the question before I fail
Yes.
and hit the button?
Coca-Cola's first polar bear print advertisement, or no, the famous polar bears
Yeah.
from Coke ads.
Yeah.
They appeared in what year and in what country in a
Jeez.
print advertisement for the first time?
Man. Okay. Well, let's pick one of those. That's tough. I remember that.
Well, let's do country, and if
if it's
you
a
get it,
tie,
Yeah.
then
and it ends up
Wow.
in a tie, then we're
Okay.
gonna do
Okay. So what country?
yeah.
Shoot, I remember for the listeners, is in continuation of the trivia. It was in an effort to get children to sign on to the brand more because there was a lack of kids who were wanting Coke. But I would say, we said country.
Yes.
Boy, I would have thought it was the United States before. I'm going to go with Russia.
Was he right?
He is wrong.
Okay.
Monica?
For some reason, I have no idea, and I'm probably going to be wrong too, but I want to guess like Switzerland or like Norway.
I mean, you're at least in the right continent now.
I don't even know what continent. I'm
Yep, don't know that.
Thank you so much for listening. This is the final episode of this season. We hope you enjoyed these 10 episodes. If you missed any of them, go back, take a listen, and we will see you again very soon on the Wander Creative Podcast. Thanks for listening to the Wander Creative Podcast. We hope that today's episode inspired and equipped you to take on the ever-changing digital marketing landscape. If you missed anything from today's episode, don't worry. We took all of the notes for you. Access this episode's show notes at wandercreative.com/podcast. And could you also do us a favor? Let us know that you loved this episode by following the Wander Creative Podcast and leaving a positive review on whatever platform you consume podcasts. We'll catch you next time on the Wander Creative Podcast, and until then, we hope that you make the most out of all that the digital world has to offer you. Whoever decided that December was going to be all the holidays at once, good on you.
Jesus?
Oh, that's
Anyway.
golden.
All right.
Anyway.